What's up, beautiful people? In this video, I'm gonna give y'all some updates of things and projects that I've been working on that I'm like, hey, I'm gonna show y'all and give y'all the progress and things like that. Here's that video. Let's get to it. What's up, beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of Don't Keep Up With the Joneses. 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 What's up, beautiful people? It's me, Rickey Jones Jr. And yes, I am wearing overalls, largely because my darling Rain loves when I wear overalls. And so, hey, when she sees me, she loves it. Therefore, that's what she gets. And you all too when I do these videos. But nonetheless, how y'all doing? It's me, Rickey Jones Jr. Like I said, I'm gonna be doing updates of the different things that I have going on. And I feel like, oh man, like I'm very curious as to what you have going on. But I don't know about these update situation. Go ahead and click that subscribe button so you can see all the videos that I have done. You know what I'm saying? I did say all, so you can see all, so you can catch up. Let's say it this way: you can catch up, or you can use this video to catch up to where we are and then where we're gonna go from there. So now we're gonna start off with the hydroponics system. Okay, let's start there. All right, great people. So we're gonna start back here with the spider farm system. I don't know if y'all remember it, but here are my luscious kale that I planted here, which they are doing kind of well. I'm gonna say kinda because they are a little leggy, as you all can see. But of course, as I read and things like that, see here it is when it all standing up. It is nice and tall, but it is pretty leggy, which is why it's slouched over like that. But in reading and things like that, I do see and did see where it says it's probably best to cut things off as opposed to letting it get too tall. Cut it so that it can grow nice and luscious and dwarf size, okay? And so it's been growing well. That's the height of it. It all is boxed in because I have another system that we'll talk about as well. But it's boxed in because as well on the other side there are some grow lights. But anyway, this is where we are thus far, and this is probably, man, now at least 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks since we planted these bad boys. Here's where it is, and this is all kale. So for those that were watching and like, oh man, I wonder where it is, boom shakalaka, this is where we are. And now to go with the one that we recently did an unboxing and setting up for, the I do, which I'll put links down below if you all are interested in any one of these. But I did see somebody was like, oh man, I'm gonna just watch and see. Here we go. That is arugula that sprouted honestly the same week. It was like 3 days after. Here's the other arugula plant, in which I don't know, it's a lot going down there, but not really what I want it to be. But nonetheless, as you all can see, I did put foil down, and largely because there were holes in between the areas, which is why the markers are all up. I wanted to cover all of the various holes. But nonetheless, here we go. This is spinach, or kale, excuse me, kale. Of course, I grew a lot of kale. But that's kale that is growing up, and we are now going into its second week of growth in the system. And so things are doing fairly well, I must say. I do say so myself. Here we have in the back row, this is Swiss chard, which is doing its thing. It's actually 2 leaves, so I'm gonna have to cut one of them so I don't, you know, overcrowd the situation and things like that. And then we have the row of spinach that has nothing growing thus far. So, you know, we'll be monitoring those things. Arugula did sprout first, which is to be expected for what it is. It just grows fast in general. And then the Swiss chard doing this thing, and then the kale, and then the spinach is doing nothing. Another update, great people, is involving these here seedlings, which I don't know if you all remember, but I did 2 different ones. One with the cocoa core and with worm castings, and then one without worm castings, just to see which one grew faster, and which the one actually without the worm castings grew faster than the ones with the worm castings. Lets me know that when you're growing seedlings, it is best to grow without worm castings and then add them as you have some seedlings growing and things like that, in which I am as well growing with perlite, which they were sprouting, which I don't know what's going on, so I do need to just water on top because I was getting sprouts, but I don't see what I saw before, so I waited a little bit too late. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen, but I'll make sure to keep you all abreast of that. However, here we are, great people. These are the seedlings that made it, and if you remember, I had like 24 growing, and so to show only now 8 is let you know what really went on in here. And also, okay, now I do want to say, if you know how to grow seedlings and you're like, oh man, I have that on lock, please let me know. Please reach out to me. Let us know in the comment section, because I do this YouTube video, or excuse me, these YouTube videos in general, to show you all different things that I may see, give you ideas of what things may look like if you were to give it a try, and things like that. So I say that to say I am not the expert, okay? I am learning and growing like you all, and I think even all gardeners and growers will say that they are learning and growing in the process as they grow and do what they do. So with that being said, definitely let me know. I feel like I should have more growing than 8 out of 24, so definitely let me know. I would greatly appreciate it. I may have to contact my friend Lala Crops since it is summertime, so she might have some more time, but nonetheless, in it all with it all, definitely let me know if you have any tips, tricks, or ideas that can help us in the growing process. And so that is what's growing indoors. Let me show you some things that are growing outside. All right, great people. So I don't know if you all remember, but we did a video where I planted these lovely ladies with the idea of attracting the bees, and what you can see, they did not make it at all. Womp the womp womp womp, okay? The sun beats up this front yard, in which I come to realize that after planting things out here, which I'll show you all some more things just to further validate what it is I'm saying. And so this did not make it at all, which, man, I hate it for these ladies. I planted 2. If you all do remember, they look nice the day of. The bees were attracting to them at the nursery shop. However, when I brought them home, this was the outcome. It probably lasted about a week. And then after that week, this is what I have going forward. And so obviously I'm gonna have to pull these bad boys up and try again. But I'll probably wait until and just, you know, let this summer pass and then go from there. Which then leads me to the cucumbers, which I did have there with the idea they were going to grow on the trellis. As you can see, they did not. I moved them to the back, and actually only one survives, but I'll show you all what's going on with that as well. You remember we planted some pepper plants before, in which they are doing kind of poorly. Like I said, it's very hot in this area. I'm surprised these have survived and done what they've done so far. The basil is looking nice and luscious. I did have to pick the top where it was trying to flower off and things like that. And so I had to, you know, make sure that didn't take place. So I wanted to continue to grow. My chives are still doing well, so shouts out to them. But most of these things around here are not making it too hot. My dill didn't make it. My strawberries are doing what they need to do. Rosemary, oh my gosh, that is like a fortress. Nothing is happening to this rosemary. All of my rosemary looks good, looks great. If you're in a hot area like me, grow you some rosemary, it'll do you some justice. My marigolds are doing okay, some doing better than others, but hey, it's a-okay. This area in which I'm pointing in right now gets hit with a lot of sun. Now this area over here gets some shade, which is why you probably see what you see, and things are growing the way they're growing and looking how they're looking, because they are surviving and doing and thriving. I should say surviving and thriving. I like those two together. But here we have our dill, and it's trying to flower off. So what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and pick the top so that it can grow up and bushy and not necessarily flower to seed. And so I'll just put that to the side because I don't want that to happen. And then we have our kale going like this. Like I said, it is warm right now. It is the heat of the day. And so I'm gonna water these bad boys tonight. But then outside of that, I probably need to get like a shading cover and things like that so that it is protected. They are protected from the sun. As the sun does what it does, these ladies are protected from that. And so, you know, and that's probably what I'm gonna do. Probably what I need to do and should have already done. But hey, we're here now, so we'll make the necessary adjustments. And then this area is doing well, doing what it needs to do. These marigolds are popping, okay? This is the most shaded area in the front yard, so things do grow well here as opposed to other areas in the front yard, as you saw. This area and then that area over there. So shouts out to this area. It does what it does. I appreciate you. And then we have this here voluntary sunflower that is coming up, growing up, and doing what it is doing. So shouts out to you, ma'am, the one with the multiple heads. So that's gonna be cute. I have one over there that did what it needed to do. And so that's growing well. And which as well, now I'm looking over here, we have the jasmine. I don't know if you all remember the jasmine, but it is still vining and doing what it needs to do. I found myself, you know, stretching it out and coiling it and bending it along the fence as I wanted to, trellis and things like that. We did lose our bougainvilleas. I don't know if you remember from when we had that little cold front here in Tampa. The bougainvilleas left. One already pulled out. That one I was like, we'll see. I need to go ahead and pull that out. It is nothing but a prickly mess. And then over here we have some sweet potatoes that I had growing and planted in here, in which they are doing their thing. Still growing, still planting, still producing vines, okay? And that's what sweet potatoes do, so no shocker, no surprise here, I must say so myself, okay, y'all? And I must say, I found out that chickens love rosemary. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick this off to take to the chickens in the back, in which I do have a garden area in the back that I started in form, which I want to show you all as well. So let's go get some updates back in the backyard. All right, so before we get too far in the back, I have some mangoes, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if I showed you all these before, but I do have some mangoes growing in the back area, in which I put these little baggies here to protect it from the pests and things like that, in which they are still growing strong, growing well, looking good, looking fabtabulous, in which I'm also excited. I did not plant this mango tree, but this lady has grown up nice and well, so thank you to the people who lived here before me. I thank you all. We also have our compost area looking good, growing well, and doing what it needs to do. This area, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring the white raised beds from the front, put them back here so that it's in a shaded area, but things can still grow. So I'm just making sure all the weeds and things are dead up under there. We have the banana trees and things all cleared out. The avocado tree looking like it needs to. I need to go ahead and prune these banana trees, and then papaya tree doing what it needs to do. And then back here, ladies and gentlemen, is where you will find my grow bags. No, I did not give up grow bags. I just moved the location. And so, hey, we're here. As you can see, the little net area, that did not work out. I was finding all kind of things up under here, which it wasn't all the way secured. So I had to figure something else out for that respect, where I used the net to cover these from the white flies and such. So let me know if you have any ideas on what I did do and how I should have done it better. I'm here for it. We're here to learn and grow together. Hey, that's why you're gardening with me. But outside of that, we have all the different things that we need. Oh man, there's a papaya right over there that I need to go ahead and get up before the rodents come and do what they do, which is mess things up, okay? So anyway, here are the grow bags. And here's the area, if you all remember, that I had set aside for me growing into the ground, in which I'm gonna mark everything out, have for my square foot gardening area to be marked out and things like that. Put a rosemary bush in the center because it's heat tolerant, all that good stuff, and put marigolds all around to keep away from the white flies and such like that. And so that's my whole situation. These ladies are so excited for this rosemary. You can hear them chirping and just ready. So let me go ahead and throw this in there. So they are eating away at that, which is not the clearest view. But another last update are for this area that the chicks are growing well. They're looking big. Well, not looking big, they are big. Let me just show you all a couple just to give you an idea of that. Look at that girl. That's a big girl. Yeah, you girl. Yeah, you. Look at you. Yes. Okay, you flapping for the camera. You gotta flap too? Huh? You can flap too? Huh? I love how you're looking, girl. Okay, these are my bedrock ladies. They're gonna produce my brown eggs, which I'm also excited for and about. So, hey ladies, these are gonna be my egg layers, my top producers. Okay, I'm excited for you all, ladies. That's more than anything what I'm excited for. You know, I did a video the other day about, I gave updates on what you should expect if you want chickens and whatnot. And so, you know, I won't have to double down with that information. However, just giving you all updates of the backyard. That is still looking like that for now. It's probably about the third week in which I'm definitely covering things up, killing the weeds. But more than anything, because it's so hot and the things that I do like to grow, I really can't grow right now. So I may just leave this like this since it's in the backyard until the next month, until I can grow some different things like that. But then I'll spend some time with my grow bags. But then, like I said over there, bringing the raised bed from the front yard to the backyard, which is going to be a process because there's soil and all those different things in there that I'm gonna have to move over as well. So, you know, that's gonna be a thing. And you don't want to bite off more than you could chew. More than anything, that's my idea, knowing that, you know, pretty much I do it by myself. So with all those things being considered and said, those are the various things that I have going on in a garden. If I start different projects and you're like, oh man, what happened with that, or what happened with that, or what's going on with that, definitely let me know in the comment section. I'll be mindful and diligent to pay attention to those things so that you can see where I am with those particular projects. And I'm gonna say I shout out to you for dropping this comment, because in reading I was like, oh man, that's cool. It's cool when people who have watched me come back. But I was mindful with the idea that yes, I have grown. However, with that, I still know I don't know it all. So, you know, this was pretty much like a transparent video as well. channel to show you different things that are actually going on in the garden and not just the glitz and glams of successes, okay, which you may or may not see on other people's channels, but I do want to show you it all in totality as it pertains to what actually goes on when you're gardening, when you're growing, when you're raising chicks and having a family and having a job and things like that, okay? So, you know, be mindful. That's what you're gonna get on this channel. So definitely stay tuned, stay locked in, subscribe if you haven't already done so far, or you can find me on my family channels, on my podcast, and different things as well that I have going on. So obviously it's hot, my words are getting all slurred, so at the end of the day, I love you all. I appreciate you all. Yeah, man, some more growing, some more gardening, some more living, some more healthy living, healthy growing, and happiness, okay? May your garden be everything that you want it to be. That is my heart's desire. So hopefully I show you all something, or show you a couple of things that will help you into growing your garden the way you see fit and you so desire, okay? All right, great people. I love you all. I appreciate you all. And remember, you never have to garden alone because you can always garden with me. Ha ha. Love you all. Peace. Ha ha.